family a little better, and he called me and said, "Do you want to make less money and have more fun?" Who doesn't like that offer, right? But at the time, Trish and I talked, and we were a little out of balance with our priorities, and we had 5 amazing boys, and we just were spending money frivolously, and we decided that, you know what, we need to get back in reset ourselves and have different priorities. So we took the job, and I said, put me in the corner and I'll do my job and I'll do it well, but that's just really what I want to do. And so I got my office and my job, and 4 years went by, and it was an amazing opportunity, and we grew the company. And on a Wednesday, I remember getting an email that said that tomorrow 80 people are going to lose their jobs. And I went to my buddy's office and sat down and said, I really feel sorry for those 80 people. They're going to lose their job. Well, the next morning, my senior VP came down to my office with an envelope and said, your services are no longer needed. And for the first time in my life, I've always felt sorry for those that had lost their jobs. This is the first time that I was involved in some type of a downsizing. And I'd always been taught that it was my job to support my family and to be the man and to provide for them and give them things. And so I drove home, and I'm a crier. Those of you that know me, I'm a crier, right? So I tell people that when I watch Undercover Boss at the end, I'm a mess when he's like giving all the money away. So I'll tell my kids. And remember home at where Ty Pennington used to build those homes? And when he would say, move that bus, don't even look at me, because I was crying right along with everybody. If you have served, if you're a veteran, or if you're currently serving in the military, or you're a public works worker, could you please stand up? Let's have the house lights up. Let's give them a big round of applause for your service. Yes, thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much. And don't even get me started on those surprise military homecoming videos. It's like, so I cried all the way home and walked in the door, and Trish knew obviously something was wrong, and I told her that I just lost my job and what were we going to do? And she said, well, you know what, God must have a better plan for us. So what a supportive wife. She could have taken that a whole different way, and she was so supportive and made me feel good about myself. And even though it was not anything that I did while I lost my job, I still felt responsible. It was my job to have a job. And so when you have the skills that I had, you go out and you consult. So you find clients that you can consult with. And so we did that for a month or so, and money was getting, we were barely making ends meet, and we had scraped up some money in the couch. You found money, right? In the couch. So we collected $10. We got a $10 bill. And we decided after dinner one night we were going to go to Sonic. It's a great place. Sonic. And get some dessert and just splurge as a family with our $10, right? And so we're sitting there, we pull in and we place our order for our dessert. And I'm sitting there playing with the $10 by the passenger window. It slips out of my fingers and goes inside the door of our van. I was pushing the window, hopefully static cling and bring it back up, and nothing. The money with $10 was gone. I looked in the mirror and my family's like, they're mad at me because because I lost our $10. And so the lady comes back with our food, and I go, you were never going to believe what happened. I was playing with my money, and I went down the door, and she said, you know what, it's on the house today. So what a nice lady. We've only used that 3 or 4 times since then, but just kidding. But it's, so we were blessed that day. Trish came to us one day and said, many of you have heard this already, but she came and said, we need to cut cable, start budgeting. I go, whoa. Don't get crazy. ESPN's on cable. You can't cut it. I go, I will go earn more money. So luckily, she didn't cut cable and the universe was still orbiting. So it was good. But so we, like many of you, we have felt what $10 means. To have $10 and to look for that next meal. And because of good people that knew us, they gave and gave. And it was hard for someone that has been the giver most of my life. It was hard to receive help. And so that was one of the lessons that I had to learn, to be humble and to receive help. And in time of need, we need to be able to receive help. If we're on that other end of it, receive that help, because that's the only way that other people can receive blessings, is to help. And so sometimes if we're humble and we can receive those blessings, let's do that. For sure. So one day I get this phone call from one of Tarl and I's former partners, and that we've known for a long time, and he said, Alec, I have an investment deal that I'd like you to look at overseas. And I said, yeah, now's not the best time. We're just trying to get back on our feet and make ends meet. And I said, what are you doing? And he said, well, we just started this little tiny company called Plexus. And I said, great, good luck with that, and hung up. And my sweet wife said, who is that? I go, that was Alfred, and he wanted us to do this and that, and he's working this little company called Plexus. And she goes, well, did you ask me if he needed any help? No, but I'll call him right back. So I called him right back, and that was midweek. That was early in the week, and I came down later in that week and met with Tarl and him, and we had a good visit, and we signed a contract deal that next week for me to. That was in late 2010, so early 2011 we signed this consulting deal. Well, we worked along, and the company was so small then, about 8 people were working at the company. It was so small, we would walk down the hall and look at each other and go, what are we going to do today after we ship out the 10 packages that went out, right? And so they all went out on time, by the way. It's great. Yeah. But I need to take 1 second and give our warehouse props. They worked so hard to getting our packages out. So we did that, and then it got to a point where my deal was I'd work 1 week in Arizona and 3 weeks in Utah, and then it became 2 weeks and 2 weeks and 3 weeks and 1 week and 4 weeks and no weeks. And Tarl approached me and said, we'd really like you to move your family to Arizona, and if you do, we'll make you a partner with him and Alfred. And at the time, we were still, I don't know if we were out of the red at the time. And so we were still trying to make ends meet. And so Tricia and I thought long and hard. Our whole life was in Utah. Our family was there, our friends were there, our church was there, our normalcy was there, our comfortability was there. So we got our kids together and we did the pros and cons. And obviously swimming pool was on the pro, and snow was on both. And you don't have to shovel sunshine, so that's good. And so we made the hard decision to move ourselves to Arizona. And sometimes in life, you just get this gut feeling that something is right. And we both felt like Plexus was going to be our journey for a long time. We signed a 90-year lease on our property in Arizona, right? So long time. So we moved here. Before we moved, I had the privilege, at our very first convention, we had, this is going to blow your minds, we had 248 people at our first convention in 2011. It was crazy. But before, that was in June. In March, we went to do a site inspection on the property, and I was able to sit with Sheila Medina, Coach Patty Cuevas, Deborah Lawson, and we sat in the back of the room. Libby Cole, I think, was with us as well. And we talked about life, and I've been in this business I started in this journey in the early 90s, so I've pretty much grown up in the network marketing industry, which I truly believe is the best industry in the whole entire world, network marketing. I believe that. And so part of our decision was I saw their heart and I saw their dedication and ambition, and I knew that if it was there, then it could grow. I truly remember sitting at that first convention going, I hope this gets a lot bigger than 248. Well, obviously, look around you. We have 4,000 plus people at a leaders retreat, not even a convention this year. And so that's kind of a little bit about my journey. I'm so grateful that I'm with Plexus. It has changed Trishan, I, and our family's lives forever. And we will forever be grateful for Tarl for welcoming us here and changing our lives. And so I like to leave whenever I talk out on the road in my opportunity meetings, you probably heard this, but I like to leave you with 3 things. The first thing is what one person can do, so can another. We have a lot of jewels here that if they say they're not rich, they're lying to you because they make a lot of money, but so can you. So can you. Whatever rank you are, if you want to be a diamond ambassador, you can do that. We all put our pants on the same way, so you can do it. So have belief in yourself and get there. The second thing is, I'm a true believer in balance. I haven't always lived this in my life. I've actually been very poor at it. And I have kids that, I've told this story many times. I'd come home from work and my son would be jumping on the tramp waiting for me to get home, and I would jump for about 1 minute and my phone would ring and I would hop off thinking I was so important and leave. And I can't get those moments back. But all I can do is go forward and try to be a better person and try to balance my life. So if you're working Plexus 24/7, I would say throttle that back just a little. Just a little. You're going to burn yourselves out and no one's going to be happy. Your family needs you. You need you. And your Plexus business needs you. So figure out some type of a balance with those 3. The things that I try to balance are my family, Plexus, and my religion. And those are the 3 things that I try to balance in my life. So, yeah. And the last thing that I like to leave with, and I know that at some point, somebody's going to come and talk to me and say, hey, you stole my quote. And I'm going to tell them, thank you. But I'm a true believer in if you're blessed, be a blessing. 100%. If you have trials or burdens that are weighing you down a little, I promise you that if you take the focus off of yourself and put it on someone else, then you're going to feel better. And it's not always money. It can be a hug. It can be a smile. It can be time. And it can be money. So figure out that blessing and be a blessing to others. You have all been a blessing to me and my family. So I thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thanks a lot.